You might be surprised to know that even in the 21st century, the so-called era of startups, there are businesses that are still struggling to receive basic financial services like credit, deposit, and insurance facilities based on their needs. But is it because of a lack of banks and financial institutions in the country? Absolutely not. The real problem is that their services only cater to the needs of larger businesses, leaving the smaller ones at their own fate. In this video, I will discuss the one-stop solution to this problem, and that is a microfinance company. But before I begin, let me first introduce myself. Hi, I am Sugandhanand, a startup advisor at SETINDIABIZ, where we provide tax, IPR, and compliance services to businesses in India. In this video, I will explain the meaning of microfinance company, the benefits of microfinance company, the eligibility conditions for setting up microfinance company, the process and documents required for microfinance company registration. So let us begin without any delay. What is a microfinance company? Microfinance companies are institutions that provide financial services to low-income individuals and groups. Small businesses usually prefer such companies over banks and other financial institutions for availing credit facilities and other services. But why so? Well, the reason for this preference is that these companies offer very small amounts of collateral-free loans at extremely low interest rates, and this is exactly what low-income businesses operating at a smaller scale need. To establish this fact even better, let us go through the definition of microfinance institutions offered by the National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development for NABARD. NABARD states that microfinance institutions provide thrift, credit, and other financial services and products of very small amounts to low-income businesses in rural and semi-urban areas to meet their specific financial needs. Further, like any other financial institution, a microfinance company is also regulated by the Reserve Bank of India, and hence, to operate it, a valid license from the RBI must be obtained. Hopefully by now, you are somewhat acquainted with the concept of a microfinance company. Let us now understand what are the specific benefits it offers to its various stakeholders. Benefits of a microfinance company. The most important benefit of a microfinance company is providing easy access to financial services to small businesses and low-income groups. Apart from this, there are several other benefits like offering loans without collaterals to decrease the risk of losing assets, offering low interest rate loans to decrease the overall liabilities, quick approval of loans as paperwork requirements are negligible and loan applications are processed without any hassle, quick disbursal of loans to help small businesses during unprecedented financial crisis, and finally, offering a wide range of loans like emergency loans, housing loans, working capital loans, and a lot more. So many benefits might have convinced you by now that there is nothing more ideal for small businesses than a microfinance company. If that is in fact true, I am sure you are eager to know what are the minimum conditions for setting up a microfinance company, and this is exactly what I will be explaining next. Minimum conditions to set up a microfinance company. So, a microfinance company can either be established as a non-banking financial company or a Section 8 company. And either way, it has to be registered as a private limited or a public limited company. After incorporation, a valid license from the RBI must also be obtained. The minimum conditions to set up a microfinance company are based on the choice of legal structure for registration and the criteria for obtaining RBI's license. Let us discuss each of these conditions one by one. Shareholders and directors. If your microfinance company is being registered as a private limited company, then a minimum of 2 shareholders and 2 directors will be required. But if you have opted for public limited company registration, you must have at least 7 shareholders and 3 directors, 1 resident director. Only Indian or foreign individuals can be appointed as directors in a microfinance company. Among all these directors, at least one must be a resident Indian or should have lived in India for more than 182 days in the immediately preceding financial year. Name, address and capital of the company. For incorporation, your company must have a unique and original name, which is also legally valid according to the guidelines mentioned in laws like the Companies Act, the Trademark Act, and the Names and Emblems Act. You can watch our detailed video explaining all these guidelines. The link is given in the description. Moving on, obviously, our company must be registered with a valid communication address also, known as the registered office address, where all its official correspondence are sent to and all its official documents are maintained. Apart from this, although the law does not prescribe any minimum limit of capital to incorporate a public or a private limited company, the shareholders must willingly invest some amount of capital for its smooth functioning. Ensure capital adequacy after incorporation. Once your company is registered, it will have to fulfill further conditions to apply for a valid license from the RBI so that it can operate as a microfinance company. For this purpose, the capital or net owned funds of the company will have to be raised to rupees 5 crore to rupees 2 crores if the company is registered in any of the Northeast Indian states. A fixed deposit account and banker's no lien certificate. The raised capital must be deposited in a fixed deposit account of the company. Also, a no lien certificate must be obtained from the banker in which he will give up this lien rights over the FD account, implying that the credit of this account cannot be further used to set off the amounts due in other accounts of the company opened in the same bank. With this, we finish our discussion on the minimum conditions for starting a microfinance company. If you still have questions, feel free to ask us in the comment section. Our next discussion will cover the process of registering a microfinance company in just 3 simple steps, namely documentation, incorporation, and obtaining RBI's license. So let us begin. Process of microfinance company registration. The process of setting up a microfinance company begins with documentation and ends only after obtaining a valid license from the Reserve Bank of India. Documentation. Well, to start a microfinance company, you will have to file 2 applications. The first one for company registration and the second for obtaining RBI's license. Definitely, both these applications will have to be submitted with quite a handful of documents, since incorrect or inadequate submission of documents can lead to the rejection of your complete application. We strongly recommend that the first thing you should do is make sure that you have all the necessary documents in the prescribed formats and up to date. If any of them are missing, arrange it as soon as possible. Only after you are sure that you have all the documents required throughout the filing process, you should move on the second step, which is registration of your company. Company registration. I have already mentioned earlier that microfinance companies can be established as non-banking financial companies or Section 8 companies. But either way, they would be registered as a private limited or a public limited company only. So, the application for the registration can be filed online in the Spice Plus form, available on the official website of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. You can contact us if you are seeking professional guidance or assistance to avoid errors in the filing process. Our contact details are given in the description box. After filing the application, wait for the Registrar of Companies to issue the Certificate of Incorporation. As soon as you receive the certificate, you can proceed to apply for the RBI's license. Apply for RBI's license. Before applying for RBI's license, you must make sure that the conditions regarding capital or net owned funds have been fulfilled. We have already discussed these conditions earlier in this video. The concerned application can be downloaded from the official website of RBI and filled out manually. A scanned copy of the filled out application is uploaded on the site with the scanned copies of the supporting documents. After this, an application reference number or ARN is generated. The same application and documents are submitted to the regional office of the RBI along with the ARN. The regional office first examines the application for any errors and if all is fit and fine, sends it to the central office of the RBI. Within a few days, a license allowing the applicant NBFC or Section 8 company to operate as a microfinance company gets issued. Now, the documents submitted with the application can be divided into three broad categories, namely documents of the company, documents of the directors, and documents proving eligibility to operate as a microfinance company. Let us discuss each of these categories specifically. Documents required for Microfinance Company Registration. The first category contains the incorporation documents of the company like its Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association, Certificate of Incorporation, and Organizational Structure Plan. Apart from this, the certified original copy of Board resolution approving the decision to set up a microfinance company will also be required. Moving on to the second category. The directors of the company will have to submit their passport-size colored photographs, KYC documents, proofs of educational qualifications, professional qualifications, income, work experience, credit report from the Credit Information Bureau Limited or CIBIL, and CA certified net worth certificate. The third and the last category contains documents that prove the eligibility of the company to apply for RBI's license. Among these are the auditor's certificate on net owned funds, the banker's report on the company, and the certificate of no lien on the fixed deposit capital. With this, we come to the end of this video. I hope that by now you have a clear understanding of microfinance company registration in India. If you still have further doubts or questions, you can post them in the comment below. And if you are interested to learn more, you can check our website. The link is in the description box. You can also reach us on call or WhatsApp at 9899 600 605. If you found this video helpful, like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more informative content ahead. Also, click on the notification bell so you can get notified every time we post a new video. Thanks for watching. Check out our other videos as well.